You think you know the boundaries of your marriage, don't you? All those silent understandings, the invisible fences you've built together over the years, you think you know exactly where the line is. My line was just one word. One careless word, muttered over garlic mashed potatoes and a glass of Pinot Grigio, and in that moment 13 years of life together started unraveling. This isn't a tale about jealousy. It's a story about the invisible crack you never noticed and the flood that followed. The evening began like any other. It was our anniversary, 12 years, not a milestone but enough to matter. Mark had made a reservation at a new Italian restaurant, the kind with dim lighting and crisp white tablecloths. He wore the blue shirt I loved, the one that made his eyes shine, and even had a fresh haircut. There was a quiet ease between us, the comfortable silence that comes from knowing someone inside out. We talked about work, Lily's school play, the leaky faucet I kept putting off fixing. It was ordinary. It was safe. And I felt grateful for it, for him, for us. Then the waiter arrived. Young, confident, with a bright smile and a kind of charm you only see in old movies. After listing the specials, he asked, "Any questions for me?" And I said it. The words slipped out before I could stop them. "No, I think we're all set." "Thank you, handsome." It hung in the air, brief, harmless, or so I thought. The waiter nodded, flustered but polite, and moved on. I turned to Mark, expecting teasing or a raised eyebrow. But he didn't flinch. His face had gone cold, distant, like a window shuttered against the world. "Mark?" I said, my smile fading. "What's wrong?" He didn't look at me. He just adjusted his fork, placing it neatly beside his plate. "Nothing," he said, voice calm, eerily precise. "Nothing." The rest of the meal passed in frozen silence. I tried to joke, to lighten the mood, but his responses were clipped, distant, and final. The food tasted like ash. The tension was so thick it could have been sliced with the unused steak knife on the table. We drove home in quiet that was almost violent in its intensity. No radio, no conversation, just the engine humming beneath us. Upstairs, the sound of a closet opening and a suitcase zipper made my stomach drop. I found him in the bedroom, calmly folding shirts into a small suitcase. "What are you doing?" I asked, voice trembling. "I'm leaving, Sarah," he said matter-of-factly. I blinked, thinking it was a cruel joke. "Because of that?" "Because you called the waiter handsome," he said, calm and unflinching. I laughed nervously, disbelief twisting in my chest. "Mark, that's insane." It was a compliment. Nothing more. Finally he looked at me. The raw pain in his eyes knocked the air from my lungs. "It wasn't nothing, Sarah," he said quietly. "It was the last straw. The final proof." He sat on the edge of the bed, suitcase open like a wound between us. "For years I felt invisible. Tonight I dressed for you. I wore this shirt, got a haircut, for you. And you didn't notice. But a stranger smiles at you and you call him handsome." He laughed briefly, hollow and bitter. "It's not about him. It's about every time I felt unseen. Every time I tried and went unnoticed. It's you praising a coworker's watch while ignoring my 20-pound weight loss. It's you laughing at everyone else's jokes but mine. That word tonight, it was proof of everything I've been feeling for years. It was the evidence." My mind reeled. All the little things I hadn't thought mattered, they had been accumulating in him, building a mountain of silent resentment I never saw. Tears burned my cheeks. "Mark, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Please, we can fix this. Don't go." He shook his head, exhausted, unyielding. "That's the problem, Sarah. You shouldn't have to be reminded to see me. You should just see me." He zipped the suitcase closed and walked out. I heard the front door click behind him. That was it. The following weeks blurred. Calls, texts, begging. His answers were brief, distant. Meetings with lawyers. Papers signed with trembling hands. Family stunned. "Over a word?" my mother asked. But it wasn't the word. It was the canyon beneath us, one I didn't even know existed. It's been a year now. The divorce is final. Some days, guilt still presses down on my chest. I replay that night constantly. I see the waiter's smile. I see Mark shutting down. I see the suitcase, the literal and figurative divide between us. I started to notice other moments too, the times I was distracted, comfortable, or too busy to truly see him. I thought our marriage was strong, but I unknowingly chipped away at it, grain by grain. He wasn't jealous. He was starved for attention, for acknowledgement, for love that didn't need prompting. And I didn't see. If you're in a long-term relationship, truly look at your partner tonight. Notice the small things. A marriage doesn't always end with shouting, cheating, or betrayal. Sometimes it ends quietly, with a single word that confirms the silence your partner has been enduring for years. Don't let your handsome be the last word.